Saudi Arabia has been in a state of political and economic turmoil for the past few years. The country is divided into two regions, with the eastern region being governed by Shia Muslims and the western region governed by Sunni Muslims. The country has been ruled by King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud since 2015. The king had announced that he would step down from his position as soon as a plan to unify Saudi Arabia was finalized. The plan is to unify Saudi Arabia into one nation under one government system, which would be led by a single monarch. The Unification Plan will entail creating 3 new provinces: Northern Borders Province, Central Province, and Southern Province, to replace the current eastern and western regions of Saudi Arabia. King Salman announced his plan to step down from his position in favor of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud on June 25, 2018. The Crown Prince then had a press conference where he announced the idea of unifying Saudi Arabia into one nation by creating 3 new provinces. The decision has created serious concerns in the country and abroad about what will happen with the current House of Saud. He also announced that the Crown Prince will also assume his duties as the country's defense minister and oversee its transitional period. Saudi Arabia tensions with Canada. Canada is the latest country to run afoul of Saudi Arabia for criticizing their human rights record. The kingdom has frozen all new trade and investment with Canada and expelled their ambassador in response to a tweet from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. What is the Saudi Unification Plan, and how does it work? The Unification Plan is a proposal to merge the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Kingdom of Yemen in order to form one country. The plan would be carried out gradually, with Yemen joining the KSA as a governorate within it. This article will provide a detailed overview of the Unification Plan, including its main objectives, how it would work and why it is necessary for both countries. Why do Yemenis want unification? Although the reasons for unification vary from person to person, there are some common issues that virtually anyone can agree upon. For starters, unification would mean less conflict with the government and more of a voice from Yemen in the kingdom. The first step to unification is for it to become an official proposal by the government of Yemen, but only after peace is secured and many other issues are addressed. What happens if unification does happen? There are many benefits that would come about from unification. The economy, for one, would boom, as there could be more jobs and additional resources. More people could be supported by the nation-state and its economic structure. There may also be more opportunity to communicate within the kingdom and the world with a unified Yemeni population. With unification, it is supposed to become harder for terrorist groups to function, as there is a more unified nation-state. The kingdom could also be less of a target for terrorist attacks, as it would have stronger control over its borders and military. There are some risks that come with unification. There may be problems with the government not being able to maintain security in certain areas or being too strong in others. It is possible that the unification will cause a stronger central government to take away autonomy from the regions. There may be problems with how the kingdom is structured, and it is possible that some parts of the country will not fare as well as others. Lastly, there may be a lack of unity among different groups in Yemen that could cause civil unrest or infighting. How Saudi unification could affect the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is a country in the Middle East. It is the second largest Arab country in the world by population. Saudi Arabia has a population of 32,813,000 people. Saudi Arabia has a total land area of 2,149,690 square kilometers. Saudi Arabia is one of the wealthiest countries in the world and has one of the highest GDP per capita rates. The unification of Saudi Arabia could have a positive effect on other countries in the Middle East, because it would increase stability and economic growth for all nations involved. The main reason for this is that Saudi Arabia has a large population, which means they have more power than other countries in the region. With their increased power, they are more likely to be able to keep other nations in check and prevent them from causing harm to one another. The oil reserves in Saudi Arabia are also a large source of revenue for the country. And it is likely that with unification the revenues will increase. Unification would also have a positive effect on economic growth. Because Saudi Arabia dominates the economy in the Middle East, which means they could greatly increase trade. There would be an influx of foreign investors and companies into Saudi Arabia, as well as a huge increase in other countries' investments in the country. Unification would allow for greater stability and order in the oil-rich region, because of how much influence Saudi Arabia holds. It would also be beneficial to European economies because their citizens could invest more money and energy into their economies with a unified Middle East. The Gulf states that are most likely to benefit from unification are Qatar, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates. The Arabian Peninsula is the geographic region which includes Saudi Arabia and all of the countries of the Arabian Peninsula. The peninsula is sometimes considered a subcontinent between Africa and Asia. In some contexts it can be treated as a separate continent. The term Arabian Desert may refer to any geographical area with a desert climate across portions of the Arabian Peninsula, including the Rub' al-Khali. Zakat is a mandatory charity tax on Muslims that every able-bodied Muslim who is above the age of 15 or high enough in status to qualify as a minor must pay annually to support the poor and needy. It is one of the 5 pillars in Islam that supports Islamic economics. The Quran has ordered Muslims to donate money and other valuable assets at least 5 times a year to help the poor and needy. Bid prayer is an Islamic ritual performed by Muslims before undertaking any major journey, usually before setting out for Mecca. The Arabic term bidayah means both before as well as to ask for good. Stay tuned for part 2 of what you need to know about Saudi Arabia's unification plans. Don't forget to subscribe.